let's do another segment of the December meeting of the TriMet Board of Puppets. Yeah, I've been keeping up with the calls, the snow emergency, ice emergency. It's been pretty normal. Things have been pretty normal in the sense that the chains are all breaking and the buses get stuck, and it's the same story that's been that way for as long as I've been associated, which is, let's see, I started there in 96, 2006, 25 years. So, time is running normally. I don't know why the chains, they have not been able to come up with a chain that actually works. I mean, you're talking 30 years and they have not been able to come up with a snow chain that's actually reliable that will stay on the tire, which is always humorous to me. Meanwhile, I've been wondering what there's about 1,000 TriMet employees that don't have to come into work. It's probably more like 800 actually. I think there's 2,300 union employees, so that leaves. Well, wait a minute. There's 3,300 total employees. Yeah, about 1,000. One third of the TriMet staff is never going to come back to work ever. Okay, that's my guess. They're never coming back to work. So you have to wonder what they're doing while the poor operators and dispatchers and supervisors and mechanics are struggling to keep this system going. One has to wonder what the hell are they doing? I mean, they're completely useless from what I gather. I mean, I just can't imagine what they're doing to facilitate anything. I can't think of it. I'm sure the managers are coming up with management baloney because that's what they do. But there's been no crises that I've been hearing. It's all been very standard stuff so far. You know, sliding buses, broken chains. Very few conflicts between drivers and riders today. I imagine that this kind of weather would minimize people on these buses. Sarah's been out and about. She's still on and off the system all day long. So anyway, yeah, you TriMet people that get to work at home and get full pay. It's really grossly unfair that you didn't compensate your people that are in the field. You know, you all of you got a substantial raise when you stop coming into the office. That's a substantial raise, and it's just a goddamn shame you didn't do something substantial for the people that are still working out here, which I mean a substantial raise from at least 25% raise. Instead, you gave them a 3% raise. So I mean, it's just insulting. I mean, it's just insulting that we have this slave society, we have this elite cult who gets all the benefits of everything, and then everybody else suffers. It's just disgusting to have to bear witness to how horribly malignant our culture is, and how this gap between the people that actually do the work and the elites has gotten so extreme. And Americans seem to be okay. Americans, I don't know what's the matter with Americans. They're like brain dead as a society. I'm not sure what's going on here with, but everybody's just kind of like going along with whatever the oligarchy wants to do with them. It's like everybody's just going along with it. And I'm kind of shocked, but not completely surprised, but it's pretty disturbing.
Thank you. I'll make motion carry. We're moving on now to resolution number 4, which is authorizing a contract modification with Bridge Data Solutions.
Okay, contract modification. We know what that means. They want more pork. You see, when you're a contractor for a government, you get unlimited money, man. You can just come back whenever you want and get an increase to the contract. Another example of how there's two Americas: the America of the serfs and slaves, where you can't even get more than a 3% raise, and then the America of the elites, where it's like unlimited money flows to them, unlimited. We saw the billionaires triple their wealth, the corporations' all-time profits, and more people, more regular people in the ditch than ever. So we're seeing the actual ending of the middle class of this society. So here we have another example. Let's take a look at what it is. Okay. TriMet's Information and Technology Division. Yeah, that's another fucking pork ass. Has an ongoing need to purchase hardware, software, and related services. Who knows what the hell they're doing there? Past practice for acquiring these essential goods and services has been on an as-needed basis, which has required individual procurements. What? So they're going. What are they doing here? So this procurement practice has not proven efficient or effective, and has prevented TriMet from leveraging the large amount of its purchases. The prior practice has limited IT's ability to respond to TriMet changing needs. What the hell are you? What changing needs? That's a bunch of crap. To improve the acquisition strategies for these goods and services from IT and procurement contracts, and develop a solicitation which would leverage the volume of goods and services that TriMet procures to secure the best product, oh my God, allows for a requirements-based contract which locked in pricing, result in a multi-year agreement. All right, well, I already don't like it. In 2017, TriMet issued an RFP to obtain a new contractor for IT goods and services. Based on the review of the 3 proposals selected, a selection committee. Yeah, this is what the TriMet people do all day. They sit around a table and they decide who's going to get their money. It's quite a job if you can get it. The elites get paid to decide who gets the money. That's how sickening it is. The procurement staff determined that Bridge Data was the most qualified. Who knows what they're thinking is there. Pursuant to the resolution, the board authorized a contract not to exceed $3.9 million. Okay, in July 2019, the board authorized $2 million more. This modification was necessary as a result of 3 unanticipated and expensive events. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. The need to upgrade TriMet's CAD server at the cost of $400,000, and that system is junk, by the way. I hear them calling on that about that all day long. An agency-wide IT outage requiring TriMet to upgrade and redesign at a cost of approximately $1. See, here's another example of how failure pays. The more failure, the more money you get. So they had a failure. And they had to spend an extra $1 million to fix their failure. And I've talked about this over and over and over, how failure is actually makes you get more money if you fail. And this is not just here. This happens to all government contracts. The award of the contract, blah blah blah. Although these events were expensive, TriMet's ability to utilize this existing contract allowed it to minimize. At this time, unforeseen opportunities have arisen. The resolution modifies. So they're going to give them another $1.2 million for the total of $7 million. You see, the money, they have money for every single thing. So they just hand it out. They just hand out millions, hundreds of millions for all kinds of shit. But they can't find operators. They're not going to raise they're going to give you a $2,500. This is so corrupt. It's so corrupt. I don't know. I can't believe people don't know what's going on here.
For hardware, software, and related services. And this is a different bridge from the group that's working with us on building affordable housing in the Hollywood district. So, Mr. General Manager.
Thanks, President.
Yeah, this is just one pork barrel after another. That's what the board does. It's just handing out pork barrels. This is why they don't tell people that these meetings are going on, because if people actually had an idea of how much money is going through there and how shitty your service is, people might get upset. But Nobody knows about any of this. This is all under the radar. I'm one of the only people that actually spends the time to look at this, and nobody pays attention to me. So it's all under the radar, and that's how they like it. That's how it's always been.
President Simmons, members of the board, this resolution requires a contract modification with Bridge Data Solutions for hardware, software, and related services for our IT division. TriMet entered into a contractual agreement with Bridge for IT goods and services.
It just amazes me how they always have the money for this stuff. Always. It's just sitting around there somewhere in their little goddamn treasury. Millions and millions of dollars for all this shit. Meanwhile, you're lucky to get a bus.
In 2017. However, the original amount and subsequent modification have been nearly exhausted by unanticipated events,
unanticipated events, also known as failures,
resulted in significant expenses to the division and the agency.
Right, the IT division failed, and now they need more money to make up for that failure.
The most extreme of which led to $1 million redesign of TriMet's entire IT network. And for those of you that were here, we had a system outage at that time.
I remember that.
Therefore, we come before the board today to request.
Nobody got fired. They all got raises. When you're an elite, you can do anything, get anything. There's no such thing as failure when you're in the elite class.
It's another contract modification with Bridge to cover anticipated costs through the remainder of the 5-year contract. This resolution would increase the total authority by about $1.2 million. The amount is accounted for in the IT division's operating budget. Bridge Data's workforce is 16% women.
Yeah, it's just, I consider this corruption. I really do. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there in IT, but I know it ain't shit. Okay. It's bells and whistles shit that nobody needs.
And 8% minority. Your approval is recommended. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
No.
Is already so moved.
Second.
Thank you, Director Bauman, and thank you, Director Edwards, for seconding. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments before we vote?
Let's hear. No.
Director Bauman.
I do have a question, which is, so this is an increase in the contract amount to address IT issues, and this contract goes through March of 22. Are we expecting that this will address a lot of the outstanding issues?
Yeah, right.
March of 22 is not that far off.
She's right. The board asks some good questions occasionally. Of course, they don't get any answers, but it's fun to listen to them asking, at least.
Are there more big projects coming after that date?
Let me bring in our CIO, Ethan. Would you?
There goes Sam, passing the buck down.
Thank you, General Manager Sue. Director Bauman. So this extension is actually because we discovered that we can get some better terms on acquisition software and hardware through this contract than we could without. So we're shifting the way that we're spending some money to be under this contract right now. That's so there's a new opportunity to save money. This is not this amount was already in our budget, and it's not covering items that are beyond our regular maintenance of all of our systems, our routine replacements. So yes, the remaining work to be done in IT will come before the board in future budget year requests. This is not an exceptional request because of some unanticipated bad thing that happened. It's just we can spend money more efficiently.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
That's the explanation.
Any other comment?
That thing that happened. Yeah. Somebody should have got fired for whatever. They don't tell you what actually happened. We had an outage. We're not going to tell you how that happened. But give us more money.
Seeing none.
Yeah, what waste.
I don't see anyone else's hand up. So we will go on to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of this segment. Another. Give us money. We've got unlimited amount of money for everything except operators and service. Over and out.